Alright, hello everyone and welcome to my first video of the new year. We're back continuing with the shiny tier list videos that I've been doing. In this one we are doing none other than Gen 7, which I have a bit of a soft spot for because I have been watching Pokemon Sun and Moon and enjoying it thoroughly, and so, you know, I'm still going to operate with nothing but, truth and honesty and integrity and rank these Pokemon on the basis of their shininess, but I thought I would, share that information. But without further ado, let's get started with none other than Rowlet, who I actually think looks pretty fun in this minty color he has going on. He looks like those mints that they give away at baby showers. I don't know if they give them away in other contexts, but I feel like I've only encountered them at baby showers or maybe like a wedding. But yeah, anyway, I would eat, or anyway. Moving on to Dartrix, who I think looks fine, looks like a handsome gentleman, but I don't like it as much as I like Rowlet's color. I don't think this dark green looks bad, but this just looks more charming. And then we move on to Decidueye, which I actually think these colors are very flattering, and I think they almost look better than Decidueye's original colors, and so I'm willing to say that is an A tier shiny. Now, Litten, I love how this looks. I think it is a very simple change, but it's a very cute one. I don't know what it is about me and the starters looking like candy right now, but he looks like white chocolate, which I don't like white chocolate. I think it's kind of gross, but he looks tasty. Is it weird to say that I would eat a Pokemon? I don't mean that like in the literal sense. I wouldn't eat them. They just look like if it was a dessert, I would be like, oh, okay. Anyway, I need to stop. Torracat. I mean, like, it's a similar change that Litten had, but it's not as cute or charming. And then for whatever reason, I really do not like how Incineroar looks. I like Incineroar's original aesthetic, but this change from black to white, it doesn't look right, and I think the chest still being like a grayish color, I don't know, it just looks weird. He looks like he's covered in ash, like he was in a fire, which I guess makes sense if he's a fire Pokemon, but it just does not look good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in C tier. Now Poplio, Poplio's a little different, but other than just being darker and having a different collar, I don't think he looks all that different, and I guess for that reason I'll put him in C tier. Again, I like Poplio. I think he's cute, but I just don't particularly, I'm not in love with this shiny. Brion. This doesn't look worse, so oh gosh, okay. Well, speaking of looking worse, if you've seen any of my other Gen 7 tier list videos, you know I'm not the biggest Primarina fan, and like aesthetically this is way worse. I don't know. Changing her hair from blue to blonde makes it look dirty to me. I don't know why. Like, I've said before that I think Primarina looks like a stinky Pokemon, and this makes her look more stinky. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that's a D tier shiny. We move on to none other than Pikabek. I actually think this is very cute. I'm going to say B. Trumbeak. Again, it's a nice change in color, but I just think Trumbeak is not that interesting. But Toucannon. Would I say this is S tier or just A tier? I'm going to say A tier. I think I like the changes in the beak from red, orange, and yellow to, I guess, like fuchsia, purple, a navy blue. I don't know. I think it looks really cool. I like how it looks. I'm considering bumping him into S tier, but as of right now, I think A tier is appropriate. Now, Young Goose and Gumshoes. I hate both of these, but Young Goose, I'm not gonna lie, looks better, and so does Gumshoes. I think they both, I don't know. I think maybe not having that blonde hair, it's gonna seem like I hate blonde people. I don't, because I was hitting on Primarina for having blonde hair, and then I'm praising these two for no longer having it. I have nothing against blonde haired people, but for whatever reason, aesthetically, these Pokemon benefit from it, and then this one suffers as a result. But, you know, shout out blonde people. Moving on to Grubbin. I think this is cute. I'm going to say B tier and then Charjabug. I also say this is B tier. They're not, like, revolutionary in any way, as in, like, it doesn't make me feel entirely different about them, but I do think they're cute, and I would be excited if I got them. That being said, Vikavolt. I think this looks worse, but it's not awful, so I'm going to say C tier. And then Crabrawler. It's fine. I don't like it as much as its original colors, and I do think it's fun that they went with like big bright red boxing gloves, because that's like the stereotypical color that you would associate with boxing gloves, but I don't know, it doesn't work for me in this regard. That being said, Crabominable, I'm gonna say A tier. I was almost willing to put it in S tier, but the only thing that they really changed is, again, the blue to red, but it just looks so good, and I really like it, but I don't know. It feels a little premature to be, or not premature, but it feels like I'd be setting the bar kind of low if I were to put shiny Crabominable into S tier, but I do very much enjoy it. Now we move on to the 4 Oricorio variants, which I like Oricorio. I don't like this one, to be honest. I think it looks bad. And then A tier. That's okay. Because, I mean, it's hard to have like a strong opinion on Oricorio because it's already so distinctly colored and fun in its original form. And so it's like these changes don't feel entirely fresh, in the sense that, like, maybe I'm just not familiar enough with Oricorio where I don't know if I would notice these differences. Moving on to Cutie Fly. I don't like this, but it doesn't look bad. I'm gonna say, no, I actually think it's cute now that I look at it. I don't like this one though. So Ribombee can go in C tier, because at first I thought the blue wings didn't go with it, but like once I looked at it a little longer, I'm like, actually this is kind of cute. So we'll put Cutie Fly in B and then Ribombee in C. Moving on to none other than Rockruff. I like Rockruff. I think maybe because of his role in the anime. This is an interesting color. I'm gonna say B tier. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And then we have the Lycanroc variants. A tier for that one, and then I don't know. These two, I just like this one the most. Moving on to Wishy Washy. Wishy Washy in its little crying form. I actually do not like this. I'm going to put it in D tier. But this version of Wishy Washy, was like the school version, I'd say it looks pretty cool. I'm going to put it in B tier. Now, Marini. I actually really enjoy this. I'm going to say Marini goes into A tier, and then Toxapex. I'm going to say Toxapex is the first S tier of the Gen 7 Shinies. I think it just looks really cool. I think it's a fun change in the color palette, but that doesn't feel like it strayed from Marini's original aesthetic. I don't know. Looks really cool. And normally Toxapex isn't a Pokemon that I pay attention to, but I really like this version, so I'm going to say S tier. Moving on to Mudbray. I think Mudbray is adorable. I think it's very cute, but this just like orangey version of it, I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah, I'm gonna say D tier. I don't like it, and same with Mudsdale. Now moving on to Dewpider. I like Dewpider, but I don't like this. I'm gonna say C tier, and then again I like Araquanid, but it's just sort of fine. I'm not entirely in love with it. Ooh, moving on to Fomantis. I think this is adorable. I'm going to say that is an A tier. And then Lurantis, I'm going to say is the other S tier of this generation, because I think Lurantis already has a cool look and a cool color palette, but this makes it look like more of a, I guess, more in line with an actual praying mantis, but it still has that Pokemon look to it, where it's not like, oh, this just looks like a basic bug Pokemon. I don't know. I think it looks really cool. I would want one, so I'm going to say S tier. And then moving on to Morlul, who I really like, but this is kind of boring. I'm going to say C tier. And then I really like Shiinotic, but I think they made it, it kind of looks like a hamburger bun and then just ground beef, which, you know, who doesn't like a cheeseburger? But it just doesn't look good. It's weird. Ooh, moving on to Salandit. I actually really like this. I'm gonna say Salandit is S tier. It's, I don't know, it almost looks like if you saw Avatar, there was one of the spirits from like the spirit world that was black and white, that was like this panda thing. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. That's what Salandit looks or reminds me of, and I think it looks really cool, so I'm going to say S tier. And then Salazzle I think looks really cool, but I like Salandit better, so I'm going to put Salazzle in A tier. Moving on to none other than Stuffle, who I think is not cute, but is it, like, it's cute in theory but not in practice. I don't know how else I would communicate those thoughts, but its shiny form I think is kind of charming. And Beware, normally I don't really care about Beware, but I actually really like this shiny version. I was contemplating putting him in S tier, but it's not entirely there for me. But I do like this orange Beware. I like it better than the pink version. Ooh, okay, well, Bounsweet, it looks like it's the same, but it looks like a berry that's started to go bad, and Steenie is suffering the same fate. So unfortunately, both go in D tier. I would say Serena is not as bad, so I'm going to say B tier, but I really did not like the changes made to Bounsweet and Steenie. It just, I don't know, it just does not look good. I prefer the original by far. Moving on to Comfy. So instead of being green, it's blue. I don't mind. I'm going to say B tier. Oranguru. Oranguru is one of those Pokemon that I very much enjoy. This version, I do not. I'm willing to say no. Let's put him in C tier, but I will admit I do not like this pink version of Oranguru. I almost think they should have went orange, but you know, I'm not in charge of the colors. Passimian, I don't love it and I don't hate it. I don't know. I really like both of these Pokemon in their original forms, but their shiny forms to me are just not doing it. Moving on to Wimpod. I actually think this is cute. I like it. I'm going to put it in B tier. And then Golisopod, it's not that different. They sort of, got rid of the purple and traded it, I guess, for like red and brown, which is kind of plain. It doesn't look bad. It's just not as exciting as Golisopod could be. Ooh, okay, Sandygast, pretty freaking cool. I'm gonna say B tier, and then Palisand I'm gonna put in A tier. I think like Black Sand just looks really cool. I like that the shovel on their head is yellow now because it just makes it stand out that much more. So yeah, I would say Sandygast and Palisand definitely got some good shinies. Pyukumuku, I don't hate it and I don't love it, so I guess B tier. Oh god, okay. I'm not wasting my time with, like, what is it, like Null or something? I kind of hate that thing. It's so, like, I kind of hate that it exists. I hate that I have to acknowledge it every time I come across Gen 7, because I feel like Gen 7 is such a good generation, but those things are just annoying to me. Moving on to Minior. So normally what, it's like pink in this form. It's not bad. I'm going to say B tier. And then Komala is the same, except the little trunk that it's holding on to is white and pink, which I don't really get. So I'm going to say, actually, D tier. I like Komala, but not the shiny. I don't know. It's not, I don't know. Ooh, Turtonator. This looks really cool. It almost makes it look like a ghost Pokemon to me, just because of like the shade of green that they changed his like head and limbs to. I'm gonna say A tier. I really like that. Togedemaru. It's not very different. They changed its gray to like a beige, which I think looks worse. I'm gonna say D tier. Oh boy. Shiny Mimikyu, I think looks so freaking cool. I'm gonna say S tier. I looked up shiny Mimikyu before because I was considering doing a shiny hunt for it, and I just think it looks so cool. It looks like it's like on a sepia TV or something. I don't know, it just looks like something that would come out of some old like vintagey TV from back in the day. I think it looks really cool, so I'm gonna say shiny Mimikyu is an S tier. Ooh, Bruxish. Okay, I actually really like Bruxish. I like that it's a weird, ugly Pokemon. These colors are fine to me. I prefer Bruxish in its original colors, and so I'm gonna say C tier for this one, because it does feel like a downgrade, but I do think the colors are interesting. Like, they're not a boring change, but they're just not very, like, I just don't like them. Drampa. I'm gonna say the same with this. It's an interesting change and it's different, but it is a downgrade from the original form, and so yeah, I don't find it very exciting. Delmice. Ooh, this looks really cool. I like that they changed the seaweed from green to red because of what is the name of that red seaweed called? Like an like Sangosa or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, A tier. I like it. Okay. Jangmo-O. I actually really like that they changed the heart on its head to pink. I think that is a very cute change. I'm going to say B tier for this one. I'd say B tier for this as well. And then I'm willing to say Komo-O S tier. I think that looks so freaking cool. It is a very flattering color palette that they put on it. I think it's a change that makes it look interesting, different, fresh from the original, and I think it, like, the change in the colors highlights its design very well. I think the scales look really cool in this color, so I'm gonna say S tier. I really like it. There's like the island spirit protector things. I don't know. I only know about Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele, because those are the only two I've come across in the show so far. I do like these versions more than I like the originals. I like the addition of like more black into their color palette. And so I'm willing to say yeah. So Tapu Koko B tier, Tapu Lele B tier, Tapu Bulu, yeah, I think a C tier, and then Tapu Fini is B tier. I think they look pretty cool in their shiny forms. I don't know if you can actually catch them like that, because like, aren't a lot of legendary shiny locked? I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my arse. Anyway, moving on. Cosmog. I like Cosmog, but this is exactly the same, is it not? Sorry, Cosmog. I really like it, but I would say D tier. And then I think they changed this from like being blue to red, which I don't like, so I'm going to say D tier as well. Ooh. Solgaleo. I don't like this, but it is very bright. So I'm going to say C tier, and then same with Lunala. Like, I guess if you conceptualize it as like a blood moon, it's kind of cool, but it looks more like stage curtains to me, and not in a good way. So yeah, I'm gonna say C tier for that. Nihilego. So from like a blue to a gold, that's kind of cool actually. It makes it look like something that you would like, what are those things called that you like hang in a baby's crib to like, and they spin around and play music? That's what it looks like. Buzzwole. Now, if you've seen my previous Gen 7 rankings, you'd know I'm a huge Buzzwole fan. I do not like this addition of this bright green. I'm gonna say it's a D tier. I really do not. Yeah, no, I don't enjoy it. I think maybe if they would have then changed the red to something else like a blue, it would look better, but that bright green with the red just, in my mind, does not go very well. Paramosa. Ooh, so now it's like in black and white. I actually think that's pretty cool. It makes it look like those, what do they call, like a noir film? Like the black and white detective movies or whatever from back in the day. I don't know. That's, I'm pulling references that I don't entirely know off the top of my head. Moving on to Xurkitree. Again, big fan of the name. Not the biggest fan of the shiny, but I don't think it's the worst. I'm going to say C tier. Celesteela. Meh. Kartana. Meh. I don't know. I don't really like him. Guzzlord. Actually kind of fun. I'm going to say B tier. And then these are like the weird like combo ones. Right? I don't know. Do I care? I'm not going to do those. These are kind of like, I mean, they look really cool. Whatever. I'll just, because I don't know what to call them, but I like how they look aesthetically. And then what is this? I've never seen that in my life, but I don't like it, so I'm going to say D tier. And then Necrozma. Again, meh. I don't know. Majarna. It looks worse, so I'm going to say D tier. Marshadow looks the same, so D tier, unfortunately. Poipole. Well, okay, so normally this thing, which is named Poipole, is purple, but it makes it sound like I'm saying it with an accent, but it's not Poipole anymore. It's yellow. I don't know. Anyway, I kind of like how it looks. I'm going to say B tier. And then Naganadel. It looks like a B, which I think is what it is originally modeled after. So I'm going to say B tier. It looks pretty cool. I don't like the Stacatica. I don't like it. I don't like it in gold either. And then Blacephalon. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna say A tier. I actually really like that. Originally, I think it's white. but they made it a dark blue and it looks like a carnival ride, but at night. So I don't know, for that reason. Zera Aura. Originally yellow. I actually think this looks pretty cool. I'm gonna say B tier. Meltan. I'm not sure if I've ever really liked Meltan or Melmetal, and I don't think these are much better, so I'm gonna say C tier for those. Although the art does not match at all, but I think because they're like a Pokemon Go thing or something, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Shiny Alolan Rattata. What a mouthful. I'll be honest, don't hate it. Rattata and Raticate can go into C tier. And then Alolan Raichu. I think this is very cute, very charming. I want to say A tier. Sandshrew and Sandslash. Isn't this just what they look like? I say C tier, and then maybe, or D tier and then C tier for this one, because I don't think Sandshrew looks the same, but I think Sandslash is a little different. Vulpix and Ninetales barely look different. Unfortunately, okay, we'll put you in C tier. Ew. I like Alolan Diglett and Dugtrio, but this version looks weird. Yeah, we're leaving that in D tier. Ew, I hate Alolan Meowth and Alolan Persian. I hate their dumb, especially Persian's dumb, stupid face. And I don't like this any better than the purple version, so I'm going to say C tier. I think they can both go into C tier. Geodude. So originally it's like this bluish grayish, and now it's orange. I don't know. Graveler and Golem can all go in C tier. No. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not enjoying, like, I love the Alolan versions of the Gen 1 Pokemon, but these are like, their shiny forms are kind of boring. I'm not really enjoying them. Does Marowak look different, or is that just what Marowak looks like? It's like not that different. I don't know. I'll bump him to B, because I guess like the tummy is darker. I don't know. This is how I feel. This is where I land. The end got a little messy there just because I feel like this generation has way too many legendary or mythical adjacent whatever Pokemon, and then the fact that they like combine, and I don't know. I kind of don't like that, and because it's hard for me to what am I looking like? Hard for me to form an opinion on something that is like the combination of two different things, and it doesn't exist as a Pokemon on its own. I don't know. Anyway, let's scroll back up and see if anyone needs to get bumped up. I am strongly considering it for Toucannon, Crabominable, and Shiny Raichu. But I think my S tier as it is really strong, and I don't think I need to crowd it up for no reason. So this is it. This is, the official Shiny Gen 7 tier list. Disagree with me if you must, but I think I gave pretty good reasoning, so it's going to be hard for you to do so. I guess the only option you have left to yourself is, to like, comment, share, rewatch it, talk about how great this video was, maybe get all the devices you own and have them all simultaneously playing my videos. That sounds like a reasonable thing to do. So go ahead and do that, and yeah, thank you guys. Until next time, bye.